You are now experiencing EternalDisco.
All right. What a coincidence.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look at that.
What do you think
3 hours sleep, gang. Let's go. Rise
3
up.
hours of sleep. We got giga trolled yesterday. I thought we were going to shoot 2 reviews in one day, and it did not happen.
Yeah. A little bit of behind-the-scenes action. It was supposed to be change shirts the same day, 2 videos.
Yeah.
Now it's change
no,
shirts.
it's the next day. You know, it's okay. All in lieu of the biggest week of engagement we're ever gonna have.
We're gonna basically we're rage baiting basically.
Yeah, we I'm no better than your click farming guys. We gotta start doing thumbnails like
Red outline with the circle with the arrow pointing at it. All right, as you could tell from we're talking about the Callous Daoboys.
the
today.
Callous Daoboys.
I don't want to see you in heaven.
I don't want to see you in heaven.
Yes.
Finally,
Right.
really.
This time
And
it's for real.
When you see, this time it's personal.
Right off the bat, let me say something.
Go ahead.
Knocked loose, under oath, now Callous Daoboys.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sentence that's a you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but I love that.
I mean, this is a lot better. Remember how we shit on the under oath?
The place after this one.
Yeah. It's just like this weird, like esoteric, almost like.
Yeah, but like that's my favorite. Like, well, you Under Oath is a bad example. That's like, this woman's
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a really bad example.
But like, you won't go before you're supposed to. I don't want to see you in heaven. I let it in and it took everything.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I love vague sentences.
Yeah.
You know,
Ominous sentences.
you give me an ominous sentence, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
in. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm fucking with it already.
Yeah.
Literally, like before I heard the record, saw the album title, and I was like, oh, okay.
We're cooking with gas on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go ahead and knock the disclaimer out of the way. If you don't know, I am unfortunately #1 Callous Daoboys super soldier, serial glazer over here. You know, Godspeed. So, if you're looking for a non-biased review, you'll have to listen to Dylan talk.
Yeah.
But you know, there's something about this band scratches an itch in my brain that like literally no one can. Like no band on earth. I'm not even gonna say that's like always in the best way, but it's just like sounds that they make that's like only these people could do it.
Sure.
I've yet to hear like these certain combinations of sounds made by other people.
I was having a discussion with Austin in the car on the way to get lunch today, and I was like, I said something about, we were talking about like the band, and I was like, who else even sounds like this? Because we're talking about like, I don't think band, like something about you like listening to other bands in this genre, and I'm like sitting here scratching my head like, who else really sounds like this?
Nobody really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think that they get a lot of comparisons to like their obviously people compare them to the Dillinger Escape Plan because they hear the like frantic, you know, like whenever they're doing the frantic like mathcore like odd meter style like blasts and stuff, or whenever they hear like a really like fucking like skronky like weird sounding like feedback breakdown, that's a lot of people's point of reference for that kind of thing is like Dillinger, maybe the Chariot.
Yeah.
Get a lot of ETID because they like to do like big thick riffs every now and then, and like they've got like, you know, they're from the South, so you can see that they wear their influences on their sleeve and they get a lot of comparisons to these people, but really it's like very surface level because if you stop and then you actually think about, well, what song of theirs sounds like this other band?
Yeah.
It's not really any that sound like it.
Right.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah.
I would argue, like, back in, like, you know, their first LP, Die on Mars, like, maybe the Dillinger and ETID references were a little bit more heavy-handed, but now they're just their own thing.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. And disclaimer, I've not listened to any Callous Daoboys until Celebrity Therapist.
Yeah.
And then only listened to like half of that record.
Yeah.
Like the front half of it. But
Yeah.
so I'm not. I don't know what Dylan or no, sorry, not Dillinger. Callous Daoboys
Yeah.
used to sound like.
Yeah.
Not really, but I do like what they sound like now. This is my first full Callous
Yeah.
Daoboys record,
Well,
pretty
cool.
exciting.
I guess we'll just get into it.
Sure, yeah.
So what'd you think?
Pretty good. Surprisingly pretty good. Like, not that I didn't think it wasn't going to be good, but there are parts on Celebrity Therapist that I did not like
Yeah.
the sing-songy parts, which, I'll be honest, there are parts on this record I did not like.
Just fair.
Lemon.
Just crazy. But we'll get to that. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But, like, I'm not a sing-songy guy.
No.
And Carson, welcome. Anytime, Carson.
Oh, yeah. We'll get, for sure.
You, like, the way that he sings and, like, the way his delivery is like, it works for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
Which is fair.
Always. There's sometimes it does. But, like, when he's doing his pop girly thing,
Yeah.
it's hard for me.
I get it. There's a very big influence on this record that, like, if you know Carson, if you know most, not just Carson, but other people in this band too, it makes a lot of sense, and you can hear it. It's almost like unlocking a secret code to hearing the record. Is like when the point of reference, I feel like, for a lot of these big hooks and big singing parts, like the most like normal he can sound, is all very Patrick Stump. It's very Fall Out Boy.
I actually, now that you say that, I can kind of hear it.
Oh,
in like that.
Mona Lisa is like, there's like there's a part where when he says altar, how he enunciates it, he's like altar, like it's very Fall Out Boy.
Yeah. Okay.
So like if you're into that, you're gonna go, oh yeah, okay. But if you're somebody who's like, I don't like Fall Out Boy, you're probably not gonna have a great time, you know, or not a great time, but you're not gonna like super love it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
But I will say, like, the singing parts, like, in the defense of it, they work better for me than certain different parts on Celebrity Therapist. Like,
for sure,
it sounds more evolved and it sounds more natural.
He leaps and bounds sounds better as a singer on here than he has in the past.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like, in general though, like, before we get too far into it, like, it's heavier than I thought it was gonna be based off of the singles,
which was intentional, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They, you know, I don't have a lot of confirmation. I haven't like dug too deep. I love the Daoboys. I'm not always trying to be a super punisher about everything though, because I'm sure that gets tiring. But like, I know I kind of feel the wavelength what they're going with was like. Another disclaimer, I've heard a lot of these songs in like demo forms, and like I've been hearing some of these songs since they were just instrumentals that were like midis.
Yeah.
And then like I heard a couple of the singles well before the album was done, stuff like that. So there's a couple songs here and there that I've heard for a while now in different states of, you know, completion. So like I always knew that like I knew that like Lemon was probably going to be a single. I knew that like Trout was going to be a single for sure. I didn't know that Mona Lisa was going to be a single, which I thought was a pretty nice touch. I actually had not heard Dog, Demon of Unreality. I had not heard that one at all until I got the full record sent to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally like texted Carson and I was like, dude, this needs to be a single. And he was like, well, you're in luck because it is. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like the through line is that like outside of Body Horror for Birds, they released all of the softest, most normal sounding songs first.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, you kind of have to, right?
I think you do.
You can't release just like one of the other like random tracks on the record.
But
and,
I think that, you know, when you're
get that attention though, like
for sure,
the fans would like it.
For getting like bigger attention for like press stuff and trying to grow your fan base. Yeah, it obviously makes sense to release the more accessible stuff. That's like the default play.
Yeah.
I think people were thinking that they were just going to subvert that because it's the Daoboys, and it's like, well, if the Daoboys it's your third album, we know who you are, we know what to expect, so we want the crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like Reddit comments and stuff being like, well, I really like these songs. I hope they didn't really get rid of like the like all the mathcore stuff. I really like that stuff.
Yeah.
And in my mind, and I know in their minds, they're like, "Oh, you sweet summer child, you have no idea."
Yeah.
Because like I love knowing that there's a hypothetical guy out there who heard Lemon and is like, "The fuck is this? This band sucks now. They're not even heavy." And then they're gonna like maybe click on the record and they're gonna get on like Tears on Lambo Leather and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh
yeah. Yeah, and like I like that. I like that it was a surprise because it was heavy.
Oh yeah, immediately
it's
so.
a heavy record, yeah. And yeah, like I guess we could go down. Like obviously, it's a concept record. At least
it's like a
metatextual.
It's a metatextual
sort of
thing because like it's so. I was just listening to a podcast with Carson where someone, I think from Kerrang, was asking him to like dive in, and Carson basically was like, "Well, let me preface this by saying I hate concept records." He's like, I'm not trying, like prog fucking music, like making concept albums about like, oh, it's a guy and he's stuck on a planet and he's got to get to his ship, but he's thinking about all the things in his life. Like that shit sucks, dude. I don't care.
You just described Exoplanet by the Contortionist, and I really don't like it.
but he's not saying that it sucks. Like the music sucks. He's just saying
Right.
the idea.
The
He's
ideas,
like, he's like, just let me listen to the fucking songs, man.
Yeah, I like it.
I like a concept
I'm a
record.
prog girl.
You're a prog girly for sure.
So, but yeah, so like it's this like 300 years in the future, museum of failure, like it's looking back at this record.
Well, it's like it's supposed to be like on like a meta scale, like a hypothetical. I think the quote he says was like, when you make a record, shit lasts forever. You've made a thing that will last forever.
Very postmodernist.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like so this is the most like personal his lyrics have ever been, because like Celebrity Therapist, even some stuff on Dial Mars, has always been very like observatory, like maybe like political at times, like fucking Silent Astrology is definitely like a political song, and that's not what he wanted to do for this one. This is all more internal, and because of that, he's like, well, how do I put this on, literally putting it on display like a museum. And there's a lot of cool little Easter eggs and references to like influences. I think it's maybe going to be the back cover of the record. There's a picture, I can put it right here and I can show you, of like, it's like the blueprint, like the floor layout of the Museum of Failure.
Yeah.
And it shows like each wing and like where the songs are, like each exhibit or whatever. So that's pretty cool. But that's really about as conceptual as the album gets. It's just like a couple skits that kind of tie it in.
Yeah, it's just like a framework.
Just a framework. Yeah. There's nothing in the songs themselves that's like, this has to do with a museum. And
so the first song is obviously setting that up. But then the first real song, which is
Schizophrenia Legacy.
Yes. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
like I kind of like, sorry, Carson, I kind of shit on Lemon a little bit.
Yeah.
But like for it to start like that, I was okay. I'm on.
We're back.
We're back.
we're all right here.
Yeah.
First time I heard it, I was a little not taken aback. I was just like, oh, okay. It wasn't one of my like favorite songs when I first heard it, but upon like each listen, I like it more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And now it is definitely one of my favorite ones. I also think that if I'm wrong, maybe I'm just like hearing stuff, or maybe I'm just like connecting dots that aren't there. But I feel like there's like, it does tie into Country Song in Reverse. Like I think that there are like the sax part and stuff, like maybe some of the same chords in both later. So I think it is supposed to like think some of the stuff in Country Song is maybe a callback to Schizophrenia. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, okay.
Call me a fool.
Call me a moron.
But yeah, like a really great opener.
Great opener. I love the very very Fall Out Boy sounding hook on it. His vocal range on this song, like he sounds like fucking desperate. Like we talked about how much I like I love when I hear like just desperation in someone's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really sells
a
it.
little bit of something about you, but
Huh?
it probably tells a little bit something about you.
I mean, that's just like, I mean, if I feel like, you know, in general, especially when it comes to like screaming, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're screaming and it's just like the safest monotone thing, like, yeah, that's cool, man. But like, you've taken all of the emotion out of the thing.
Yeah. Love it or hate it, I'm sure Carson's voice might divide some people, but he definitely has like a intensity
Yeah, the
to
intensity.
the
Yeah,
way that he screams.
and range.
Yeah.
Range for sure. But yeah. Also want to talk about like just how good the guitars on this record sound,
Mm-hmm.
which immediately pop out in this song,
Mm-hmm.
and carry throughout pretty much the whole record. Like, dude, they're doing shit with like pedals and stuff that like I'm like, I don't. How did you make that sound come out of a guitar?
Yeah.
Boggles my mind. Because I mean, I know it's just general pedal board nerd shit, but
Yeah. Pretty much.
pretty much. And also, like, clearly you guys listen to, like, a lot of, like, Gojira. Of, like, let's just do the weirdest these scrapes and feedback noises and beeps and boops and whatever. But, yeah, really, really big fan of that. The drums sound really good. The production on this record is just really,
production.
really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Dom Maduri. It's just a local Atlanta guy that's been friends with them for years. They didn't go to like a big producer for this or anything. They
Yeah.
were like, Carson and Dom produced it, so
Yeah.
they kept it at home, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that is sick. Yeah, production wise, like all across it, because like we'll get into it more later, but there's like genre change ups, and like the worst thing you can ever do is make a heavy record with any sort of quiet part,
Yeah,
and the production still sounds like a heavy record.
yeah,
Like,
but
that's like the worst thing you could do
Yeah.
to me.
yeah. Oh no, I agree.
You know what I mean? Where like they might change the tone and they might change like the volumes, but it still sounds like it could just be a heavy song, just with less distortion or whatever. So I do like production wise, like it runs the gamut. Like it's incredibly heavy, incredibly loud, clipping at some points to
Oh yeah,
super like laid back. Like you can hear like the room, whether
yeah.
it's,
It is very spacious. Everything kind of has room to breathe, which is really nice, and you almost don't hear these days, especially with something like this, that you would think like a metalcore record, hearing all that stuff. And for what it's worth, like I feel like there's been maybe some criticism lobbied in the past at them. Why do you guys have a violin player? I can't ever hear her. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, now you can shut up, because like she's very present on this record.
Yeah.
The mix for Amber's violins like sound really good.
Yeah.
Definitely has room to breathe in the mix and actually sticks out. Because like even I don't know where the violin parts on like Dial Mars really are, which I think was intentional.
Right.
They think that at that time they were just trying to almost make it like a third guitar, really distorted into that mix. But now it's like we're varying what we do with it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
For sure. Yeah. Second song, I don't have it.
Full Moon Guidance. I love Full Moon Guidance.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite tracks because it is immediately from like the first like line of the song. It is clear that this is their like homage to Glassjaw. It sounds like Carson's doing like a Daryl Palumbo impression almost.
Okay. I don't listen to Glassjaw, so I must have missed that.
If you listen to Glassjaw, it's very clear this is like a Glassjaw worship song. Not like hokily so, and it doesn't stay that way. It definitely morphs later into the song, but the beginning, the whole like, this is what lovers do, this is what I do, or whatever, the way he says that, it's very, very Glassjaw. This is one of the oldest songs that I had heard, and this is one of the ones that I was like, I think it should be a single. It's going to be a fan favorite. It's going to go crazy live.
Like I said, I don't have my notes handy, but I do like what's the song after this?
Song after Full Moon is Trout. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like these two songs back to back at the start of a record, like we said, with like the rollout of the record.
Yeah.
Like definitely set the tone for it.
Yeah.
And I do remember like I said, like being very pleasantly surprised for these first two, like the first two full songs. And yeah, just like you said, the mix on it, the production wise, like doesn't matter what they do, it never sounds bad.
Yeah.
There's even later on in the record, there's some parts that like it shouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shouldn't work, but it still can. All in all, like great first like impression,
Yeah.
and then like you said, we get to two-headed trout after that.
Yeah. I don't think we've really talked about two-headed trout.
I think two-headed
How
trout.
do you feel about it?
I think two-headed trout was, I won't say disappointing because it's not like I had any like notions of what it was like, what the Daoboys should sound like, because it was their first single, right?
It was the first single, yeah.
Like, well, it's like a double single.
It was a double single with Dog, but it's
like,
it's like the main.
It's almost like I watched the music video when it came out.
Yeah.
And it's like both the songs put together. And like the first time I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then Dog comes on in the music video, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will say this song, if I didn't know any better, this album was written to challenge me personally, Dylan Lundy. Because like there are parts that are like, and then there are parts that like I really have to like struggle through, or not struggle through, but struggle with. But then like Trout's a good example where
it clicks.
It clicks in after like I said, I listened to it and I was like, ah. And then Dog came on and it kind of put it more in context. Like, this is what we're gonna sound like. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be this.
Yeah.
And then Lemon comes out. It's like, it's also gonna be a little bit of that.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, I think on like in the context of the record, Trout holds up a lot better for me now.
Okay.
And I do like it
because like it has probably the single catchiest hook of the whole record, probably even catchier than maybe Lemon. Also, like it's just like fucking super clever lyrics on the chorus.
I was about to say, I was
like,
listening through it,
like
and
look
I
at
did catch.
Because like look at all the hooks in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm about to say I can't remember the lyric right off the top of my head now, but I actually caught that.
Or show you all the hooks in my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, like that whole lyric right there is like about swimming upstream, show you all the hooks in my mouth, like whatever. Like, I'm not a lyric guy, but like I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Well, and then like the last line of it is just like a look into the camera moment of he's just like the bubblegum pop assures I'll be shot. That's what he's saying. Like he's like I know this is poppy as fuck. I know some people are gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean that's fair. And like you said, if it's a introspective album lyrically.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Like the imagery, like all that stuff on that record is
really good. I love Trout. It's got maybe it's like one of my favorite like choruses of the year so far for sure. I love the sounds like, I could be wrong. I'm not a gear guy. I lean to you. You look at me for lyrics. I lean to you more for like gear and know-how of how they're doing stuff.
Sure.
But like when the heavy part comes in at the end, it to me sounds like I think they're using like an octave pedal to drop tune it, like because it sounds like so like more down tuned right then.
No, sure.
When it's like that ding 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 ding. It could not be. Could just be another pedal, but
yeah, I'd have to listen to it again. But yeah, I mean,
I love the way that sounds though. Like I listen, that shit just like plays in my head constantly.
Yeah. I mean, like all the pedals, like all the effects, like going through this, like there are several parts, like a whammy pedals. Obviously like 10 different types of distortion, tones and stuff like that. We were listening to, what song was I playing just before we started?
Douchebag, I think.
That's the one that's got like I was like, this reminds me of something.
Like
oh no,
that's Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Listening to Mona Lisa and like the guitar tone in that, I was like, they're doing something. It's purposeful.
Yeah.
I just can't fucking place it.
I can't place it.
But yeah, every part of this, like distortion wise, like guitar tone wise, everything was very purposefully chosen.
Oh yeah, very intentional choices, like even like several times per song.
Yeah, and like, which is more than we could say for the Sleep Token record.
Yeah, fucking. There's not like it's not just fucking static the whole time. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so after that,
Tears on Lambo Leather.
Yes, with the Orthodox feature.
Which Orthodox, like as a band and like Adam as a vocalist, is like a cheat code for just like the hardest thing you've heard.
Yeah.
Like it's just music for insane people. It's fucking like the most aggro thing. The way his voice sounds, like I used to not like love Orthodox. I liked seeing them live, but there's something about listening to them on a record where I was like, I don't know. I don't really like the way his voice sounds, but now I get it, and he sounds a little bit different too.
Yeah.
But it's just so like, in your face.
Yeah, and for a big, like, I guess because he's from the South and all that, for big, like, I wish a motherfucker would.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sayers in chat.
The
like,
fucking wish a motherfucker would, wish a motherfucker could.
Yeah.
And then like my favorite, like gotta be like one of the hardest lines on the record is he's just like, so what you fucking reap, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill someone, like,
Yeah.
I'm putting my foot through a dude's head.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for the Atlanta date for that show. Whenever it's gonna be.
It's it's gonna be a good one.
It is gonna be nice. I do get to see Callous Daoboys in a few months.
Oh
Across the pond. I'll see you guys in fucking England.
Yeah, that sucks.
Hell yeah. But anyway, yeah. So just badass fucking song.
Badass song.
Name is fucking amazing.
Weird song though. Like not only is it like one of the heaviest songs, it's also like one of the fucking weirdest songs. Like when it kicks in and it's like got that weird like synth going through it, that like it's crazy. It's some crazy shit.
Yeah, and now's a good time to touch on like the naming convention on this record. I don't know what it means, but it's fucking awesome. Like
no one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Like some of these song titles coming up specifically, like making me laugh.
Oh yeah.
When I downloaded the files for it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like paying attention.
Yeah.
Because it would just be like the word idiot or something, then ellipses, like and then you like read what it is. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Tears on Lambo Leathers is a good title.
Yeah.
At the end when like the fucking like sample, like the gun click and the gunshot hits, and it's like instead of it being like a heavy, it's just like very open.
Yeah.
Like and just like closed hi-hat.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like someone like they know what they're doing. They're trying to just like, this was clearly like let's write a fucking like mosh song.
Yeah.
You know, let's let these people kill each other. Oh yeah. And then like, you know, as an absolute troll, we're gonna go Tears on Lambo Leather straight into Lemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
How dare you? First of all,
yeah,
it's the greatest song on the record. No, it's not. It's like it's in my top 3 of the record for sure. I love Lemon. I listen to it straight up, like probably on a daily basis. Carson told me one time when he was writing the song that he had mix notes, like, you know, like you send, like you'll take like a song and you'll use it as like just a mixing reference. And he was like, here's a song he sent me. He was like, here's a song that I'm using as a mix reference for one of the songs on the new album. And I was like, okay. And he sent me Like I Love You by Justin Timberlake. And I was like, awesome. I kind of get what you're going for here. Because like that was like Pharrell early 2000s, like 2002, like Neptune's production. Sure. Like very like loose drums, very like loud in the mix. And then I heard Lemon and I was like, okay, all right. So yeah, it's like very close. Like I see where the inspiration came from. I love that though. It reminds me of Like I Love You a lot. Not necessarily vocally though, but it's just like the drum pattern and the way the drum sits in the mix. It is very like Pharrell kind of sounding, which is cool, especially to hear that here of all places. Right. It also has like a Dijon kind of thing. It reminds me of Talk Down, which is like one of my favorite Dijon songs. Because it kind of Dijon, like Talk Down has like that same thing, like the same like whatever that drum groove is, like very like almost like trip hop. Like if you just sped it up, it would almost be like a break beat, but it's not like that fast. Love that kind of thing though. So immediately was in. Also, I don't know if you know this, the very, very beginning of Women, where it's like the guy in the background like clapping, he goes, "Yes, sir." Yeah. That's Tyler from Wilt Wither.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that.
Yeah.
I remember it was like somebody from Wilt Wither.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Nick or Tyler. But
yeah, it was Tyler. Yeah, which is it's hilarious because like in hindsight, it was the day like the song came out. Friend of mine, Brandon, was like, "Dude, is that Tyler?" And I was like, "Oh my god, it totally is." Because Tyler, it do be saying "yes, sir." He be yelling that shit. Like the motherfucker be yelling "yes, sir" all the time. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely him." Damn. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I've already kind of spoke my piece on Lemon. I'm a heavy kind of guy.
It's gonna grow on you.
It already has grown on me. like when I listen to the record, it's not. I don't skip it or anything,
Yeah,
which is more than I could say for like
it's true.
if this was on other. I'd be skipping songs on my favorite records,
Yeah,
but I'd be like, I will call a record like a 9 out of 10, and like skip 2 songs
and just not
and
even
pretend
save
like
them.
they don't. Yeah, pretend like they don't exist.
Yeah,
But no, but seriously, like, yeah, it's not a skip, and like it's one of those things. The very beginning is so low key
yeah,
and so just like talking,
mm.
pretty much,
yeah.
Like when it get like literally like every
It
verse and
builds.
chorus after the very beginning, like it definitely builds, and like once it starts building, like I catch on a little bit more. Then, like I said, like that pause for the last chorus.
The actual like full band comes in.
Yeah, and I also love like the DI plug-in guitar.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like just like squeaky clean DI plugged into the board sound.
Yeah,
Sick.
it's sick.
Yeah.
I think my favorite, like we talked about, like the big band coming in at the end of it, but I think my actual like favorite part of the song is the second chorus when they bring in like the tambourine,
Yeah.
like because they're just adding like more and more layers. I think that's probably my favorite like part of the song.
Yeah.
But it's also just like I'm a big pop guy, like I'm a big pop girly. I love big hooks, so like it's got such a good hook. It really is like. It's just like the Daoboys pop album, and as much as it can be, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I kind of lambasted it a little bit. It's growing on me, like it should.
And I think that's the intention. I don't think that they put out the song thinking that everyone was going to love it immediately. I think they knew that there was going to be some growing pains for some people, for sure.
For sure.
And then we go into Body Horror for Birds, which is the title track, actually, is the spoiler, I guess, this is the song where he says, like, I don't want to see you in heaven.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say title track. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's the hidden, like, where's the title on this album going to be, and that's where it is. 'Cause probably one of the biggest, like, people, like, you think Lemon is a left turn, and then Body Horror comes on, and you're like, how did you left turn me again?
Yeah.
Because it's like what, 5 minutes long or something, and it's just very subdued, like almost like the production on it's really cool because it's like very like almost like lo-fi. There's nothing else on the record that sounds like it, like really just like jazzy low-key song. Has a feature from he's billed as First Vows, which is like his solo project, but he's the singer from this band called Envy on the Coast, who I adore. Not the biggest band in the world by any means. It's a band I listened to when I was in like 7th grade.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they haven't done like a whole lot. But they have they have 2 like really like, to me, like 2 really like seminal albums that I found Carson really loves them, and then he got in contact with the guy, and now they're like good friends, and he's on the record. Really cool moment for sure. It's really nice. It's one of those things where like, yeah, I kind of talked about it with Sleep Token record, where it's like even songs I don't like Past Self. I was like, I will admire you if you can just hold true to what this is and not try to be like, not turn it into like a heavy thing.
Yeah.
So like with Body Horror, I was like, I kind of hope they don't get heavy with this at all. And they don't. They just leave it 5 out.
Yep. That's really good.
It will be cool to see if and when they ever play that live. I don't know if they ever will, because it's kind of a weird one, but how everybody would do stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the drums, it has that, I don't know if it's the drummer playing or not, but it's definitely got the brushes with the hi-hat pedal sound, and that's pretty cool. Like, I do like that sort of just, it's that jazz sort of ambiance. And that's like the production wise, it's like one of my favorite parts is they don't like skip out. Like they even like have just that brush sound that just sounds like white noise almost, just like a hiss. Yeah. But like that's just what those records sound like.
That's what it should sound like.
I'm a jazz guy, unfortunately. Don't tell anybody. But I really like jazzy shit. Yeah. Like either jazz, like metal incorporating jazz, or just straight jazz. Yeah. So it was cool hearing it. Like, kind of impressed and enjoyed it. Like where Lemon, you're like you're not gonna like Lemon, Dylan. Like this is up my shit.
And then it ends with a little fades out, and then it ends with that like clip. It's from a speech from Philip K. Dick, is what it is. And it's
Yeah.
like
If you think this world is
bad.
bad.
The name of the name of my thesis or whatever is, if you think this world is bad, you should see some of the others.
Yeah.
And it goes right into Dog,
yeah.
which is
just sick.
Dog is so sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Dog, like
Whoop.
oh my god, dude. Like, yeah, no, it's like I saw a comment on like Reddit whenever that, or maybe YouTube whenever the two songs came out, and someone was like, "Bro, how are they doing a song where they're doing like car bomb guitar effects, but then the chorus is like a Fall Out Boy song?
Yeah.
How are you able to do this?"
That's funny. Like, see, I rarely think of bands in context of other bands like that, but that whole thing is just car bomb.
Yeah,
Down, dun, dun, digga, down, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah.
Like the offbeat, like it's definitely like a
It's
waveform era.
very
like car bomb.
very car bomb. Like, again, as a lyric guy, I really love a lot of the lyrics on this one. Probably my favorite line is, "Some of you need death of the author, others just need death altogether." I'm like, yeah, that's horde.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's just good. And like,
Do you like postmodern literature? Tell me.
Oh yeah,
I need to know.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's directed to Carson. Everybody else can sound off too, but
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
big
need to
time.
know what you're reading.
For sure.
Because it's definitely like very postmodern.
We mentioned production, and we've touched on it. I will say, like, I do want to like shout out on this song, especially the next like run of songs, because we go from Demon, and then we'll talk more in detail about the next two. But from Demon into Idiot and the Douchebag, big highlight of this record is this is the first full length that Marty, their drummer, has played on.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker is sick.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he is so good. It's crazy. Every time I see them live, I'm like blown away by how good this dude is in person. Like, he's like fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And they're doing some crazy shit. Most of the material, like, I think a good like probably 90% of their music, maybe more, is written by Carson. So like even like the drum parts and stuff.
Yeah.
But for Carson to essentially be clicking and making impossible drum files and then sending it to Marty, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do that."
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, obviously the drums are, I guess we could have brought that up earlier, but the drums are definitely a highlight. Like, just the different styles too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Between going from Dog to Lemon, to even like like I said, if it is him, the jazz brushes, like, he can kind of do what he needs to do.
Yeah,
It's
he's
pretty
got a very vast repertoire to pull from. A lot of really cool drum moments on here. Everybody in this band is firing on all cylinders. Like, this whole record, like the guitars sounding great, it was incredible. The bass sounds incredible. Shout out Jackie, dude. I love Jackie. The bass tone is awesome.
Yeah.
Jackie does a lot of the like alternating vocals, has a lot of vocals on this with Carson, where they do like a lot of lows and stuff. Like, Carson does lows, but then Jackie will also do lows with them. Whenever you hear like the really fucking like crazy lows, it's like both of them crossing over.
Right.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, Amber, the violin sounds better than ever, I think.
Yeah.
Just sick all the way around. But yeah, Dog is like, it's gonna be like an all timer for them. That's gonna be like a set list staple that they're probably gonna get tired of in a couple of years, because they have to play it every show, kind of thing. And then after that is maybe my favorite song, I think, which is Idiot Temptation Force.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea what that means, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's also like low key the funniest song on the record for sure.
With
I think
the intro. This is the intro.
This
one?
is the one with the unga bunga.
Yeah. What is that from?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure if it is a reference. I would love to know if it is. But was when it started, I was like, oh, that's funny. And then he goes in like to one of the craziest drum parts of the record, like that fucking polyrhythm blast that he's doing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Is nuts. And the song just like doesn't let up from there.
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps going crazier and crazier and crazier. Like, there's that build up and like the middle of the song where it's about to hit, like, you're like, oh, here we go, we're about to get a mosh part, and then it hits and it brings back the fucking ugga boo ugga boo boo ugga with like a thick riff underneath it. I'm like, it's just the bounciest shit.
Yeah.
awesome. I was like shit eating grin listening to this the first time, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, hell yeah, dude. It just makes you want to do one of these.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Hell yeah.
This is the one that they've joked a couple of times like online about like whoever's running the Twitter account. They'd be like, I can't wait for someone to hear some of the crossover of like influences and songs. And someone was like, yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear the Meshuggah Bruno Mars song. I think that this is the Meshuggah Bruno Mars song because of like how some of like the polyrhythms go, and then like the singing part in the middle where it just is like the horns and drums, and it's very like R&B. It's not necessarily on this song, but we've kind of glossed over on some of the others. Shout out to the secret member of the Daoboys, because I believe it's him. His name's Rich, and he's the guy that plays the saxophone on whenever the saxophone appears. Saxophone parts sound great.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the horns in this song are probably just like, digital. Yeah. I don't think it's like actual real horns or like a real horn player. But if it is, it'd be really cool to know.
Yeah, I mean, all the confluence. Turns out you just need to go back to 8 members. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bring back the era of the Daoboys where we were just like, fuck it, add everybody to the band. Yeah. Let's be a 10-piece. Yeah. I'm sure it was not a logistical nightmare in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah, no, really, really, really sick song. And then Douchebag Safari. Would you say the beginning of it sounds like SpongeBob or something?
Oh yeah, it's the SpongeBob.
Yeah,
it's like that whole like first half of it has like that SpongeBob dance music.
It's another one of the weirder songs. It's another one of the like. It's pretty funny sounding. It's one of the songs I need more of like I need to really like read the lyrics and dive into like what exactly it's supposed to be about, because I don't want to make jokes of it's going to turn out that this is going to be like one of the darkest songs on the record, and I feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
But it's a nice, awesome like weird little song. I really enjoy it. It has the coolest electronic sections probably on the record, where it's like really getting into his let's just do some EDM almost like dubstep noises just for fun. Let's just sneak them in there. The end of the song where like the breakdown where it's just like a wall of noise is so good. Like that section alone is a highlight for me. Can't wait to see if and how they play that live. Yeah, I was talking to their guitarist Dan, and he was like, I want to play Douchebag so bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, how are you even gonna do some of that shit? And he was like, oh no, we talked about it. I don't know. Like someone else is gonna have to press my pedal board for me, because I want to just fucking swan dive. People want to.
Yeah, time to get a MIDI switch track
or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll be a fun one. And then we're right there towards the end, towards the last bit of the record, we go into the last single, which was Mona Lisa.
Yeah, Mona Lisa.
Distracted by the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Which it's a cool, because of the way that the record is framed, to me, my mind, Mona Lisa is like the closer. Because it's supposed to be, they talk about at the beginning of the record how it's like, we uncovered thought to only be 10 songs until we found the mysterious footage of Country Song in Reverse. And then like Mona Lisa feels like a closer. Like it ends on it's like an end credits kind of song,
Yeah.
Very somber kind of, but like not in a sad way. I think it was said that this is supposed to be like his like love song to his band. I kind of feel the sentiment in the way the song sounds. I guess if it has kind of like a love song kind of sound to it, with like some of the chord choices and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
It's the most Fall Out Boy sounding song on the record,
and that's probably why I'm fortunate to say what I have to say.
Sure.
Not really my thing.
That's okay.
But
I get it.
I think the one thing that really gets me is like we're talking about like influences and like pulling from this, that the synth is such an obvious 3-note synth.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. It has to mean something.
Yeah, I think
you know what I'm saying.
I think that there's a lot on this record that feels like intentional references that I don't know.
Right.
Like little.
Because it's almost like you
nods.
have like that driving like guitar line under it, but it's almost like it's mixed louder than it. So part of me is like, what's like, there's like a significance, maybe that's like a motif that you can find other places on the song or on the record or something. But like, just the fact that those 3 notes are so prominent on that song has like got me like thinking, but it doesn't really work for me because of that.
Yeah.
Like mix wise, I think that's like the one thing I don't like
Yeah.
is that one synth.
Sure.
The rest of the synths on the record sound good.
Yeah.
They're mixed in, blah blah blah. But
it does kind of, it feels it
does
like
stand
sticks out a
like
little bit.
that's what makes me think it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
it's referencing something or it means something in the greater context of a record, but might be one of the weaker songs for me.
Okay.
That's
I mean, I think like it was probably my least favorite of the singles.
Yeah.
Because like I love Lemon, I love Dog, I love Trout. It didn't do a ton for me, but it's a nice song. It's like almost like a ballady kind of song.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I'm sure there are people who are going to be like, "Oh no, it's my favorite song of theirs," and I would get it.
Yeah.
But
this song also has one brought it up earlier, the guitar tone, like the
Mm-hmm.
really chuggy or the saggy sort of like breathy guitar tone. Like this is the song with it on there, and like I love the way that guitar sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the guitars, like the way they play it, the way they produced it and everything. Like great. Like I love the way the instruments sound on this record, this song. But just the song itself as a whole doesn't really do a lot.
in my mind, like I said, it feels like the real like closer, I guess. Because like that's kind of how it's supposed to feel. Is like this is the end of this like collection, and then we go into Opt Out, which is like a skit that picks back up on the Museum of Failure, and it kind of sets you up for Country Song in Reverse, the actual closing track, and like ties it back into like how it's supposed to be a museum exhibit and how it all fits together. I like the world building there. I like the way it connects, and then it leads into Country Song in Reverse.
Sure. I do want to say one thing. I do like you think you're starting off with a song, but then it turns into like diegetic, like coffee house music. The little vocal, it's just like him singing notes.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're almost like, oh, we're getting like another soft song, because I didn't look to see the runtime. I didn't I didn't know anything about it the first time. Get like this, it's like gonna be another
Talking about on
Birds.
the Opt Out where you can hear the
Opt
guy
Out.
singing in the background.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the start to another like Body Horror for Birds type thing, where it's like, but then it like kind of, I don't know if it actually fades, but then you hear like the cafe noise or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like diegetic music, which is cool. I like that. It's like you think you're getting another song, and then it's just elevator. I don't know if that's purposeful, but it's like
No, I think for sure. I think it's lit lobby music.
Yeah, lobby music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I did like. It's almost like a rug pull. Like you think you're getting
I'm wondering
something.
if I would love to know what that is. If that's like a song, like if that, because I think I've listened kind of closely. It doesn't sound like Carson. I'm not sure who that is singing. I want to know who that is. Or
Definitely Carson talking in this skit.
definitely, yeah. You can hear his voice like talking for sure. Him talking to whoever he's in the museum with or whatever. But yeah, then we go into Country Song in Reverse.
Which I feel like, see, here's the thing. This is my favorite song on the record.
I'm shocked by this.
I'd say like Demon, or really that run of 3. Like you get like I'd say run of 3, but like the Demon, the Idiot, the Douchebag. Like that's my favorite section on the record. Like that, like I could just like put those 3 songs on and just like work out or something, you know.
Oh yeah.
But like as a song, like I do love my 12-minute, 11-minute prog epic things. But part of me, I was laughing because I was like, this is really, really good. I like this a lot. Am I an idiot? I feel like for me to choose this as my favorite song, it's like Carson's gonna roast me.
It's so on. Oh, he's going to for sure.
Because it's like, how is that your favorite song? Like there's no way that could be anybody's favorite song.
It's the song that I think, not to talk for a guy not here, obviously, but like I think it's a song that is like one of his favorites. It's the song that he pushed. I know he pushed for it a lot. Like he was like, I want to do a fucking 12-minute song. I think probably everybody in the band and probably people on their label are like, you sure? You know, it's a hard sell.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's funny, and that's why I think I'm gonna get like roasted or like something, because it's literally like they say like, you can leave now.
Yeah.
Like opt out. Like you can leave now. You don't have to stick around for this.
Exactly.
And then they play the song, and I'm like, this is my favorite song.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I almost dropped it in, because the very beginning of the song does sound like something that you could reverse and it sound like something else. Yeah. I almost dropped it into my Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And reversed it. I'm like,
just to see.
I'm not gonna. But then as the song goes on, the way the instruments were mixed, I was like, it's on purpose, man. I was like getting deep in my head.
You're sitting
It's
there
like the snare
cracking
has
the
like
code.
the snare doesn't have a whole lot of like tail on it. The kick is very dry. The guitars are just like blips almost.
It would be,
I'm like,
if you did that and it is, I'm gonna be like fucking.
yeah. I mean, Carson's gonna think I'm an idiot, but like part of me, that very beginning almost sounds like something you could have reversed and it would like sound like something. But besides that, so that's the first thing, the thought I had. I was like, am I supposed to put this in Pro Tools? But no, just in general, like it's 11 minutes long. I've heard it like 3 times. I can't really like articulate all the parts of the song, but the intro is really great.
The vibey part,
Yeah,
like just like the this like slow synth into like the instrumental build before like, any like real song starts. Or whatever.
Yeah, like a whole the whole vibe of it. Like it's 11 minutes. It's gonna have like atmosphere to it, and it definitely does.
It does. It
And
has
I
a
really
lot. I agree. I think it's really fucking cool. It's a really good song. There are specific parts of it that are like so cool.
And
The part you're talking about at the beginning, I would like to say, I don't know if it's intentional. It could be. I know I know the influence is there. Okay, I'll go ahead and preface it by saying that. I know it's there. Obviously, I see it on my T-shirt, but it feels very Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
Like it has the same vibe as some of the background music from Twin Peaks.
okay.
Like
I'll
some
have
of
to
the
listen to it
score.
again with that sort of.
It reminds me of some of like the main like score stuff from Twin Peaks.
Season 1, like that one song that's all throughout season 1.
Part of that, yeah. But also there's a song from Fire Walk With Me that has like a piece of the score from Fire Walk With Me that has a very similar vibe. Okay. And like obviously, Twin Peaks fans, but also I could be projecting because I just watched the show again.
Yeah.
I don't know. But past that, like the part where it like opens up, like once the song really kicks into gear and he's like singing, you see it's on like a lot of T-shirts and stuff. It's like a big like slogan for the record. They've been like hiding it in little places, which I love that kind of stuff. I love just little like Easter eggs on like your merch and stuff. It's on the back of this shirt and like tiny. It says like all creation an open wound. When he sings that part, I was like, oh fuck, dude, I don't even know what that means. It's awesome. I mean, it's very like you said, like postmodern, kind of stuff. There's a lot of really cool there's a lot of like really cool religious imagery on this album and like deconstruction of that, which I love all the time, anywhere from any source. True. You take the concept of something like religion and you just start breaking it apart. I'm in, I'm locked in there. So yeah, like the all creation and open wound is like really cool line. It sounds huge when it comes in. It's like one of the this whole album is fucking massive. This song is a goddamn mountain in the distance though. It's like the biggest shit you've ever heard. Yeah. I love the feature on this. It's a screamo band from Atlanta called Low Before the Breeze.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it's that part where the guy comes in, it's like it drops out completely and it's just him fucking screaming over it. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Love that part.
One part that I was like, I kind of was like, now I like a lot more is like the I love you part.
So here the whole time that you were like, when you told me that Country Song in Reverse was your favorite track, I was thinking to myself before you told me that this was either gonna be a song you loved or a song you hated, and I was like, if he hates it, it's gonna boil down to the I love you part, because it threw me off, kind of. Or I was like, I don't know what's going on here. But then when I realized, like when it gets to the end of that, and it's like the next time I'll keep it to myself, like, I was like, oh shit, no, I'm okay. I immediately get it now, and I'm like, thumbs up.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sick. Like the name of the song, like you can break that down 20 different ways. Like the structure of the song, break that down. Like I said, like part of me's like I might do that just to see. But no, there's just like just everything about this song, like the placement on the record, the way it's sort of like an optional. It's almost like a bonus track, but not.
And it's clearly like from like the little, I'm not going to claim that I can decode every lyric that he says on this without reading it, obviously. And as of shooting this, the record is not out. Yeah. So I don't have the lyrics in front of me. Sure. I didn't really want to ask. I didn't want to put it forth. Like I was like, I need this. No, I like to get it on my own. But like the small, like like the smidgens of lyrics that I do like click in my head as I'm listening, and I can like lock in on. Like I'm willing to bet this is like probably one of the darkest songs, if not the darkest song. It's definitely supposed to be like probably they kind of tease it the whole record as like it's don't you don't have to listen, like it is terrifying, like
Yeah.
and they make it sound so like big and scary kind of sounding.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, the little pieces of lyrics that I get, like the final line, I think I told you, it's the final line of the record. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he says like, "I am worthy of the ark, and I hope to God that you can swim." And I'm like, that's cold, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's killer.
I love the way the saxophone sounds on the end of this song, where it's like that, like leading out. It sounds like fucking like it's a saxophone, but it sounds like sounding the seventh trumpet or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like and like this. Speaking of the end of this song too, the way the record ends with this song as the final, you know, obviously like out of the meta context, like it does just like dun 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 or whatever. There's just like some chugs basically, like something palm unit, and then it just kind of.
Yeah.
Like there's no more sound, and then like 5 seconds of silence, and then the record's over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It like leaves you with it.
Right.
It just goes. Here you go.
Yeah.
There's no like. It's not like it is like a fade out, but it's not like an actual fade out. It just you're done.
Yeah. There's just like one last note that gets played, and then it's
like I don't know if I was thinking that there would be like another little like clip at the end or something, but no, they just leave you with it. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So what would you rate it?
Oh me? Like I'm giving it like a 9.5. Like honestly, it might be a 10. Yeah. I think it's the best Daoboys record by a country mile. You know, and that's coming from someone who like loves Celebrity Therapist and I love Dial-Mars. I've been a big fucking dick rider for this band for a long time. I paid my dues, you know. But I think I think you guys should be proud of yourselves. I think this is your best work by by a long shot. I don't see anything coming out this year that's gonna in the heavy sphere, I guess. I can't see anything coming out this year that I am going to enjoy more.
Sure about that.
I could eat my words.
I just know one band specifically is maybe dropping this year.
What? Who?
Loathe, maybe.
They're not dropping a fucking record.
You don't
they
know
won't.
that. Come on.
They won't.
No,
it may be, but like you know, someone like Loathe would be the closest that I could think was gonna get close. But outside of that, you know, maybe there's a band out there. Maybe there's gonna be some new band that shocks me.
Yeah.
You know. But I think that for what I like, this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
You know. So I'm giving it. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Okay.
But really, it's a 10.
Fair enough.
Now, from someone who's not doing this the whole time, you tell me yours.
Yeah. Like it's weird because it's not like I had nothing but good things. I had mostly good things to say about it. Still, what was the record that I did this with recently? Where it's like it's really good. Is the new Deaf Heaven? Was it Deaf Heaven?
Yeah, I think so.
The new Deaf Heaven record, where I was like, it's really, really good. It's perfect for what it's going for. Not my bag all the way.
Yeah.
Type vibe. So it's like, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. Like there are certain things that sort of throw me off. But in general, the production, the choices being made, everything about it is really, really good. Couple of like just nitpicks here and there. But still, like for me personally, 7.25.
Sure.
Like a light, what is that?
Light 7.
Light 7, sort of. Like between a 7 and a 7.5. I've listened to the full album through twice, and then I've like spot listened like equivalent of maybe another third time. I need more time with it. It takes me a long time to like digest music, and as some people know, I'll listen to the same. If I like a record, I'll listen to the same record forever.
Yeah.
Like top to bottom. So it takes me a little while, but for now, I'd say definitely like literally the best Daoboys I've ever heard, which is not very much. But a 7.5, like with the capacity to go up.
For sure.
You know? So I'll definitely give it that. It's not always my bag, the mathcore stuff, but this is probably the best it's going to get done.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that about sums it up.
We've yapped all that we could yap about it.
Pretty much.
But we don't have that big of a couch, but if the whole Callous Daoboys would like to come on,
oh yeah,
we will find some way to fit everybody on this couch.
I have talked. I mean, every single member of this band rocks. You're all great people. You know, I'd love to have all you guys.
Yeah.
So we'll come talk about something else. It won't just be glazing your record. Obviously, we can talk about. If I was in a band, I probably wouldn't want to talk about my music at all. I'd be like, can we do something completely different?
Oh yeah, that's my least favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
talk about the music that I
So,
like.
if you want to see that, or if you want to do that, if you guys are watching, you just let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll write an episode. We'll do something.
Yeah. Comment down below what we should listen to next. Even
This will be the first review that we got sneaky inside information so that I could have this ready by the day it drops. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I can get some connections and we can start doing that with more stuff instead of having to rush crunch time every time we want to do something close to a date. But
yeah, now you're talking crazy.
Now I'm talking crazy. So
but yeah.
Anywho, Daoboys, EternalDisco, forever.
You said it this time, not me.